We are here today along the Delaware River in Easton, PA, because there is an attack by special interest to overturn the ban on fracking in the Delaware River watershed. We are here to say that will never happen. We are representing organizations and individuals who fought for 10 years to put in place the ban on fracking, and the agency that will be meeting inside today at 10 o'clock, the Delaware River Basin Commission, needs our support to make it absolutely clear that the public will not allow fracking ever to occur in our watershed. So we have speakers here today who will bring forward their thoughts, their hopes, and their commitment to defend the Delaware River from fracking. Our first speaker is Maya Van Rossum. She's the Delaware Riverkeeper and leader of Delaware Riverkeeper Network. Maya?
Thank you, Tracy. And thanks everybody for coming. As Tracy said, my name's Maya Van Rossum. I'm the Delaware Riverkeeper. And for well over a decade, the Delaware River community joined together to defend our river, to defend our watershed, to defend our communities from the ravages of fracking for fossil fuels. And we are here today with a very clear, direct, and positive message for our government and for industry leaders. The Delaware River belongs to us, the communities of the Delaware River watershed, including future generations yet to come. And whether you are the President of the United States of America, whether you are a member of the U.S. Congress, whether you are the head of the U.S. EPA, whether you are a Pennsylvania or state legislator, or whether you are a fracking exec worth millions of dollars, you have neither the right nor the authority to remove the protections from fracking that we, the communities, have secured here in the Delaware River watershed. And we are also here today to tell the governors of the 4 watershed states, and who are also the commissioners of the Delaware River Basin Commission, that as long as you stand with we the people, as long as you continue to defend our watershed from the ravages of fracking, we will stand with you proactively, positively, firmly, with courage and with strength to defend and maintain our ban on fracking, and to resist any pressures or abuses of power that either industry or the Trump administration would seek to exert on your operations. DRBC, as long as you stand with the people, you are on solid ground, because we will be standing with you, and we will do everything we must to protect our beautiful Delaware River watershed for present generations and all the future generations yet to come.
Good morning, everyone. As Tracy said, my name is Taylor Jaffe. I'm Catskill Mountain Keepers Program Manager, and Catskill Mountain Keeper is an environmental advocacy organization protecting New York's Catskill region's resources and communities. As one of the most vocal and effective organizations in New York State's fracking fight, Mountain Keeper stands strong with our allies and the public in support of maintaining the Delaware River Basin Commission's ban on fracking, an essential policy that protects public health, state authority, and the integrity of our shared environment. In 2021, voters in New York overwhelmingly supported an environmental rights amendment to the state constitution. Each person shall have a right to clean air and water and a healthful environment. New York State has also prioritized public health and ecosystem health by enacting other environmental protections. These include a long-standing ban on fracking, and the 2019 Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act, which mandates an 85% decrease in greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 from 1990 levels, and prioritizes the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions and co-pollutants within state-identified disadvantaged communities. Fracking is a direct assault on public health and environmental justice. It drains and permanently poisons our precious water. It pollutes our air with cancer-causing chemicals. It's been linked to birth defects, respiratory illness, and neurological damage. Let's be clear. No regulation can make fracking safe. Science has shown again and again this practice harms people, ecosystems, and our climate. These harms are not born equally. Pregnant women, children, low-income residents, indigenous communities, and people of color are disproportionately exposed to these risks, making fracking a clear environmental injustice. Air and water pollution do not respect man-made, geographic, or political boundaries. Today we urge the DRBC to exercise their authority and responsibility to defend the watershed from irreversible harm and protect precious drinking water resources, public health, and prevent worse climate impacts while upholding New York State's authority and protecting New Yorkers who overwhelmingly support this ban and their environmental and climate protections. I support this ban, and it is for our collective health and livelihoods that I am taking the pledge of resistance and protection for the benefit of current and future generations of this earth and the Delaware River watershed. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. And we'd like to say before our next speaker that today we are launching a pledge. This is a pledge to defend the Delaware River, to resist all comers from trying to overturn the ban on fracking in the Delaware River watershed. Individuals are signing this pledge, and many already have begun to sign this pledge. And today we're launching it to the general public to ask people to commit, to put their name on the line, to say they will do everything they can to prevent fracking from ever occurring.
Thank you so much, Tracy, and thank you to all of the members of the Frack Ban Coalition. My name is Doug O'Malley. I serve as the Director of Environment New Jersey. We represent more than 80,000 citizen members across the Garden State, as well as activists. And the reason we're here today is because for more than 15 years, the threat of fracking has hung as a cloud over the Delaware River watershed. That threat was obviously diminished by the actions of the DRBC more than 4 years ago to ban fracking. And the reason they made that decision really can be found, all the way back in ancient literature with the rhyme of the Mariner by Samuel Coleridge. And he said, "Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink." In that poem, he was talking about a sailor on an ocean who could not drink the water. The reason we're here is because more than 15 million people across the watershed, including 3 million New Jersey residents, depend upon clean drinking water that comes from the Delaware River. That drinking water cannot be despoiled. And the science and research that went into the DRBC's decision is impeccable. It is also critical to know that while the political science may change, that science has not altered. And the DRBC was created because it was an interstate compact of 4 states as well as the federal government. This is ultimately about states' rights and the ability of an independent agency to make decisions for the region. Those decisions are impeccable. There's been legal challenges to them. They've stood the test of time. And I think it's very important that we're here in Easton today, because more than 7.5 years ago, many of us joined Governor Murphy just across the bridge in Phillipsburg when he announced that New Jersey would support a ban on fracking in the Delaware River watershed. That was 7 years ago. The science has only become more and more clear on why we need to defend the watershed. The science that the DRBC used for its 21 decision continues to be impeccable. And the reminder, of course, is that we do not want to use the Delaware River watershed as a science experiment to see how bad fracking pollution will be. We know that. We have the facts in other parts and other regions. So there's no reason for us to go back. There's no reason for meddling in this science and the independent state decisions that were made by this independent agency. That's why we're here, because we cannot afford for our drinking water not to be able to be drunk. Thank you so much.
Hello all. I'm the director of Damascus Citizens for Sustainability. We have worked collaboratively with Delaware Riverkeeper Network and many others to get, besides the bus, to get the ban in the Delaware River Basin, and we continue to work to maintain it. It is economically important. This is an aspect that is little recognized except for people in fracking areas who understand that their economics have collapsed. Property values go to zero. Can you sell a house if there's no potable water? No. And there is many illnesses. It's not only a human health and environmental health hazard drilling, but also an economic hazard. If you look in the Susquehanna River Basin, you see that the river is impaired, the tributaries are impaired, water is impaired, and it's not going to happen here because we will protect the Delaware River Basin as we have. Thank you.
So, I'm an environmental chemist for Physicians for Social Responsibility, and I actually go out in the field, boots on the ground, and investigate these crimes and harms to our public health. So fracking has created a public health crisis in Pennsylvania, one that communities across the state are living with every day. From toxic air pollution to water contamination to rising rates of asthma, rare cancers, and environmental degradation, the costs have been devastating. Pennsylvania is already the second largest producer of oil and natural gas to the nation, with Texas being the first one. We've seen firsthand that so-called these economic benefits of fracking are a false narrative, one that enriches the corporations while sacrificing the health and safety of our people and our environment. Now the fossil fuel industry, with the backing of the Trump administration, is challenging the Delaware River Basin Commission's fracking ban, threatening one of the most vital drinking water sources for over 13 million people. We must be clear, the Delaware River Basin is not a dumping ground for industry. It is a life source. I'm a water protector, and we say water is life, water of life, because we are what we drink, right? So we really need to be concerned about this from a public health standpoint. Physicians for Social Responsibility of Pennsylvania stands firmly with the commissioners in defending this critical ban. We commend their leadership and courage in putting science, health, and safety first. PSRPA is here as a resource for this commission too. We bring scientific expertise, frontline experience, and deep commitment to protecting communities from the harms of the fossil fuel extraction. The people of Pennsylvania are not collateral damage to extractive profiteers. We've learned our lesson. Fracking has no place in the Delaware River Basin or in any future that values public health, environmental justice, and clean water. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chris. After we're concluded, we're going to be going inside to the Delaware River Basin Commission quarterly business meeting. We will be speaking during the public comment session directly to the representatives of the governors of the 4 states and the federal representative from the Army Corps of Engineers to tell them why we will not allow fracking in our watershed and that we will stand with the Delaware River Basin Commission as long as they defend the ban. So our next speaker is Annika Van Rossum, Program Coordinator for Delaware Riverkeeper Network, and she will read the pledge that I just mentioned. She will read the pledge so you can hear what we're pledging to. Annika?
So for the benefit of current and future generations of this earth, I take this pledge of resistance and protection. I pledge in solidarity to uphold the ban on high-volume hydraulic fracturing or fracking and to resist all the harmful activities that fossil gas and oil development brings. If the Delaware River Basin Commission members comprised of the governors of New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and the federal representative from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, or any of our elected or appointed leaders attempt to overturn the ban on fracking in the Delaware River watershed and or permit any processes or infrastructure, including storage, in support of fracked gas and oil development in any part of the Delaware River watershed, I pledge to join with others to engage in lawful, nonviolent acts of protest, including demonstrations and other lawful, nonviolent actions as my conscience leads me. I pledge to protect the Delaware River's watershed, forests, streams, and wetlands that are the life-giving source of water for over 17 million people and for the plants and animals with whom we share this earth. I pledge to protect the public health of all of our communities from health-destroying, cancer-causing, and climate-changing air, water, and land pollution emitted from fracking, drilling, their infrastructure, operations, and activities. I pledge to protect the livelihoods, healthy food, farms, ecological systems, biodiverse habitats, education, recreation, art, and jobs that are irreplaceable and dependent on a healthy Delaware River. I pledge to protect the frontline and fence line communities who have been unjustly burdened and targeted over and over by environmental racism and will work hand in hand with our communities to stop these continued burdens and sacrifice zones that have existed because of this injustice. I pledge to protect the Delaware River watershed from harmful development, fracking, and fossil fuel and false climate solution activities that will not only decimate our world now, but leave nothing for those yet to inherit and all those generations to come. I make this pledge because the Delaware River frack ban was put in place with public participation backed by science and fact to be protective of the Delaware River watershed and its communities. I believe that healthy environments lead to healthy people, healthy communities, and habitats, and a world where all can thrive. I believe we must continue to stand strong for our environment and to uphold the pillars of law, science, and facts that help the DRBC make the sound decision that the watershed will not survive, nor will we if fracking is allowed.
Woo! Woo! Thank you, Annika. So we're concluding here today. Afterwards, if you'd like to step up and speak with some of our speakers, you're welcome to. We appreciate the press coming out today. We're glad that the media is here because we need to let everybody know we will fight to the end to defend the ban in the Delaware River watershed. And we're going to be going inside and speaking directly to the commissioners in order to make sure they understand we have their back. Defend the ban, no fracking in the Delaware.